everyone, today I'm doing my sixth form advice video that I promised, like a survival guide on how to survive sixth form from my personal experience. I have finished sixth form and everything. I finished year 13 and I don't know what else to say really. I've compiled a list of questions that I made up myself that I hope will cover all the different topics and things. I'm just going to get started and stuff on my experience and hopefully give you some form of advice and things. See, I did A-levels at sixth form. I stayed at the same sixth form that I went to for secondary school. Like I carried on, I stayed at the same school for 7 years, did sixth form at the school, my secondary school that I went to, etc. So yeah, I didn't move to college, I didn't move to a different sixth form. So obviously my experience may differ to what you're maybe going into or your personal experience and stuff. So question, is the step up between A-levels and GCSE as big as people say it is? My answer, yes. They are very, very different. Not that that should be a thing to scare you. A lot of people go through it, remind yourself of that. A lot of people have to go through that and it is a big step up. Marking, how you write essays is completely different, obviously, but that's expected because obviously A-level is advanced level, whereas GCSE, everybody does GCSEs, but A-levels are a choice to do them. So obviously it is going to be different. Indicator of that is obviously that a C at GCSE is considered to be a pass and an A-level an E is a pass. So the jump is a bit different, is a bit big, sorry, not different, big. I feel kind of nervous today, I'm talking like, ooh, okay, calm down Lucy, calm. Step up is big and it is just a different way of working, I'd say. It's not like impossible and you will settle into it quite quickly. To begin with, I was getting, in year 12, I was coming out with D's and E's to begin with, but then within a couple of months, like, you adjust to it and you just get used to it, and obviously you're going to have support with that. Your teachers are going to expect that the step up is big. You know, you've been taught how to write a certain way at GCSE and they literally tell you that that is completely different and to avoid doing that once you get to A-level. Challenge to begin with, but you adjust and you get used to it, so it is fine. You'll be fine. What was the ethos of your sixth form? Did you feel you were in a mature environment? This is difficult. Sixth form, the difference between sixth form and college, I'd say, I didn't go to college, I applied to colleges as a backup kind of, but I went to my sixth form in the end. I'm glad I did that, but at the same time I think college would have given me more independence and more freedom, I suppose. Sixth form is a lot more pressure involved. Obviously you're in school environments, you're kind of considered to be an example for the people in the lower years of your school. And it's kind of just like staying at school, I suppose. You do kind of get treated like an adult. It is a lot more independent in the sense that you are expected to... Difficult because my sixth form still kind of treated you like you were just part of the school, I suppose. It wasn't a separate building, you were still in the same... Obviously it differs from school to school, sixth form to sixth form. My sixth form, you were in the same building as the year 7s, etc. You are taught by the same teachers, you're surrounded by small children all day, and also the dress code was very, very strict. There wasn't really a lot of like freedom in that sense, but I do think we were in a mature environment. There was a lot of, you know, you had a lot of equal kind of level with the teachers, I suppose, and I wouldn't say that we were treated like children exactly. It was just quite a lot of, it was still very strict. You don't have the same kind of environment as college per se, but that's obviously expected because it's completely different to college in that way. I hope that makes sense. So it was kind of a mature environment, but it was still very strict and a lot more heavy going, I think. With college you do get a lot more independence, so they are different in that way. How do I organise myself? I'm quite an obsessive person in terms of organisation, so naturally in my mindset and how I think, I am very, very organised, and I kind of put too much pressure on myself in that sense. I'm quite a perfectionist, which is kind of a bad thing. Maybe I should be a little bit more relaxed in that kind of sense. In terms of organising yourself, I'd say from day one of sixth form to have a folder for every subject, and to have a planner as well. I got given a planner with my school, so to write down homework, to write down when it's set and due. In terms of organisation, I also emailed myself stuff. Memory sticks aren't really, USB memory sticks aren't always reliable. In my school computers, I got told they used to crash and things, and they're not really reliable, so I'd recommend emailing stuff to yourself as well, so you have a hard copy. Always save things more than once. Just to just write out notes and stuff, make sure I have everything in different folders, have Polly Pocket things, you know, like the clear pocket things. folders. I'm just trying to think what else. In terms of organisation and like learning and things, write out notes and stuff, condense things, go over stuff, buy the revision guides, etc. Just from day one, just have kind of an organised thing, how to stay organised, have a folder for each subject, know when things are set and due. Kind of just have kind of a routine, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. How do I balance schoolwork with social life? This is really difficult for me because literally I didn't have a social life throughout my A-levels really. I just say give yourself a break and try and find a balance, as much as that is difficult at times. Try and find a balance between the two, and do put school as the priority. Remind yourself that school isn't forever, so it is very, very important, and it's rewarding because obviously you're going to have that summer to socialise as much as you want at the end of it, and just focus purely as much as you can on sixth form. Obviously give yourself breaks as well, but especially in free periods, for example, I always worked in my free periods. I didn't sit in the canteen and, you know, eat food and stuff. I worked throughout my 3 periods, and then I'd have my work done instead of leaving it all till really late in the evening or whatever. Like, there are people that had to stay up at night and have no sleep. I wasn't one of those people because I worked throughout my frees. When I'm at school, I did work, and then at home I did have that little bit of time to try and wind down a little bit, as much as that was difficult at times. So I just suggest maybe working through your frees so you have more time at home to do what you want, and also just try and find a balance. Give yourself that time out from school, because otherwise you're going to end up very, very stressed and in a mindset where you can't relax. So I just suggest like finding a balance between the two, working at school and then finding time at home to relax and enjoy yourself as well. So yeah. Dress code. I at school, with the difference between school and college really as well is the dress code thing. At college, from what I know, you can wear what you like, you can have facial piercings, you can dye your hair whatever colour you want to. Obviously I have my nose pierced now, but that's I got after sixth form. There were people who had like nose piercings, but I think they wore clear studs or didn't wear it at school. Our dress code was very, very strict. We used to get called out in assembly if you aren't wearing the right dress code. We were pretty much told to wear office wear. It was kind of lenient, like we couldn't wear jeans, we couldn't wear tight-fitting trousers. We had to wear like blousey kind of tops and stuff, but it tended to got a little bit more relaxed as the year went on. The beginning of the term, obviously they're very, very strict, and then it kind of got a little bit more relaxed. But it differs from sixth form to sixth form. There are sixth form colleges and things, I think, where you can wear jeans and wear what you like. So obviously just look into that when you're applying and know, like, try not to get into trouble. Like, don't go out buying a whole load of clothes that then you can't wear. Like, know what you're allowed to wear beforehand. The sixth form or college, the reason I chose my sixth form in the end, I did apply at college to do A-levels, but the college I applied to was in a different town from me. It was quite a distance away. The bus was really, really expensive. For the year, it was ridiculous. It was like £500. And really, it was kind of, my school I was at was kind of a safety net for me. Like, there was no point me really moving because they offered what I wanted to do. They were quite lenient. College had like blocks for the subjects that they offered. Like, you had to pick a subject from block A, block B, block C and block D. So your timetable worked. Sixth form, they were a lot kind of lenient for me. Like, they were able to kind of work the timetable to fit you, which was quite good. Also, my college, I wanted to do English language and English literature separately, but the college I looked at only did it as a combined course. College is a lot more broad in terms of what it offers, which is good. Obviously they offer things like if you wanted to do a film production course or something, they offer that at college, but they don't do that at sixth form. Sixth form, they do say, is more academic, which isn't always true because you can do A-levels at college, and I think college is a lot more self-motivating. At sixth form, they kind of pressure you. They treat you still like you're a school student. At college, it's a lot more kind of uni-like, I suppose, where you have to motivate yourself and you don't get hassled, you don't get detentions if you don't do the work, if you don't turn up for that lesson. That's your problem. You're not going to pass, and that's your choice. Whereas at sixth form, they hassle you. They want to know where you are at that time. But if you want that environment because you feel you aren't very self-motivating, then I'd say definitely go and look at sixth forms. But colleges, they do have a lot more to offer in terms of vocational courses. Tech, you can do diplomas and things like that. or you can do A-levels at college. So it's entirely up to you the kind of environment that you work best in. And I suggest maybe applying for both. So then on results day, if things don't go according to plan and you don't get the grades for sixth form or whatever, college you have there as a backup. Also, you can, if you fail AS, if you fail year 12, you can go to college and start again, which is what a lot of people did as well. I think I'm rambling a bit, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to get as much information across as I can, but obviously this is my personal experience. So how do I balance my subjects? How did you know which subjects to choose, and how do you feel you made the right decision? It's difficult because I'd say choose subjects that you know you're good at. Well, not necessarily good at, but subjects work with your GCSE grades, like know what you did well in at GCSE, or subjects that you're passionate about or that you enjoy. Try and balance them where they kind of look good together. Obviously, if you take history, for example, English looks good with history because they're both essay-based subjects. Show that you've got a skill there in terms of communicating and being able to write well, I suppose. You learn, they kind of correspond well together because for me, when I took History AS, because I did English essays, I knew how to formulate an essay. Equally, don't take too much from my experience. Try and balance them. If you're good at maths and English, maybe take them both, because then you've got that balance there between essays and non-essay based. Also, equally in terms of coursework, maybe you'd want to take an exam subject and a purely coursework based subject as well. So that way you haven't got purely all coursework subjects, because from my experience, that was a lot of work. So I took all essay-based subjects, so I had a lot of essays due in and things. So if you're good at both, use that to your advantage and do one of each. Depending on where you study, they might have option blocks, which is difficult because you have to pick. So your timetable works out. You need to choose subjects that work and fit together so the timetable works. If you're struggling, ask your teachers for advice. Say, do you think I'd be good at this subject? Or look into different options. And yeah, I guess. I always kind of knew what I was going to study. I just chose stuff that I did well in at GCSE, and I thought also think about uni, like it's not the priority when you first start at uni, at sixth form or college, but sorry. Have in mind maybe look at courses and look at what they're asking for entry requirements wise. But really, it's up to you. Just choose stuff you're passionate about, choose stuff that you're okay at and that you're going to enjoy, because you're going to be doing them for 2 years. If you're doing A-levels, look at what they're offering, look at what they're going to cover in their syllabus and stuff, and yeah. Having a part-time job, recommended hours to work. This is difficult for me. In year 12, also, at our age, it's difficult to find jobs. Like, it took me ages. I was lucky with the job I have now. I got that as a Christmas temp job and it stayed on to permanent, and I've been in that job for 8 months now. I do 12 hours a week, and sometimes that was difficult alongside sixth form, but I wouldn't suggest doing anything more than that, really. I think I read somewhere that the recommended hours per week is 9 hours. Also, maybe do a Christmas temp job, and then by the time exams comes around, you've got free time purely to focus on exams. Don't worry too much about finding a job. Of course, it's nice to have the money, but always make sure that your priority is school. You can find jobs that work well, like you can do weekend jobs, but make sure you don't do too much. Like, obviously the money is nice and you maybe can forget about school a little bit, and not always put it first, but try your best to, and just maybe talk to the people that you're working with and work for, the company, and just say, I'm looking for work to fit around my A-level studies. Finally, I'm just going to cover briefly Youthcast. What is it? How does it work? How do I choose my unis? Is it as stressful as people say? From my experience, Youthcast, I was quite organised in terms of Youthcast. I was one of the first people in my year to send off my application, which benefited me because I got offers back really quickly. In terms of choosing unis, I'd say what my sixth form recommended and what makes sense is that you choose unis with different entry requirements. Don't purely choose 5 unis with AAA, because that's not really realistic. In case something goes wrong on results day, you'll have to definitely go through clearing if you don't get the grades. Just choosing a backup option for your insurance. Make sure your insurance is a different grades criteria to your firm choice. Personal statement wise, make sure you start it in advance, so you have time to redraft. Give as many drafts to your teachers as possible and be like, please can you look at this? Please, I've made these changes. Pester them. They want you to do that. That's their job, is to go back through it and keep looking at it. Write in your personal statement why you're passionate about that course, etc., and what you can offer them. Write about your experience, past experience, what in the course interests you and things. That's about it really. If you have any more questions in terms of Youthcast, please leave them down below. I'll try my best to answer them. I hope this video kind of covered stuff. I feel really kind of awkward and rambly. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will answer them for you. You guys are all doing well, and if you are starting sixth form in the next few weeks or college, good luck to you, and just go with it with an open mind. You'll do great, I promise. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well and I'll talk to you soon. Bye everybody.